I've been meditating for almost 3 years consistently now, and I can confidently say it's completely changed my life. I can't imagine a life without focusing on my breathing or meditating every single day, because otherwise I just feel off and it doesn't feel right. Now, I wasn't always like this. Matter of fact, I actually hated meditation when I first started it. I thought it was boring. I thought it was unproductive. It was like, why would I waste my time sitting there for 10 minutes when I could be doing something more productive, like actually thinking and actually doing work? Now, I definitely thought like this, but it wasn't until I found the box breathing method that it really transformed my way of meditating, because before I would just kind of focus on my breath and then my thoughts would drift. Then I would try and bring them back, but it ended up just failing every time because I don't know, my mind just operates crazy. I just can't sit still, and so it was just unrealistic to get my mind, my video game background mind, to sit there and just focus on my breath for 5-10 minutes. And the one that actually helped me was box breathing, because it actually forced me to do a specific way of breathing rather than just breathe, because there's a big distinction between the two. And if you don't know what box breathing is, it's essentially a breathing method that allows you to breathe in, hold your breath, exhale, hold your breath, breathe in, and you kind of repeat in this box kind of pattern right there. And what that allowed me to do was not only focus on the big inhale and exhalation, but it really just allowed me to focus. It gave me something to think about while I was doing it. And by focusing on your breath, you ultimately will start to feel better and have less racing thoughts because your awareness is on your breath. Now, the biggest challenge for me with regards to meditation was the routine, was the habit. Especially in the beginning. It's like I sometimes was just really tired at night, and it required a lot of mental effort to just sit there and focus on my breathing. And there was definitely nights where I just didn't want to do it. And there's still nights that I don't want to do it. But the way that I stick to a habit is by just doing it in the same way or in the same pattern every night. So after I'll brush my teeth, I pretty much know that it's my time to go meditate, and I can't really do anything else. I can't go to sleep until I do it. And so I'm not just kind of leaving it up into the air to say, I'm going to meditate eventually, or I'm going to meditate tomorrow, and just be like, fuck. When the time comes, it's really hard because you don't want to do it. You're not mentally prepared, and yeah. You may be wondering, what exactly are the benefits for someone that's been meditating for a couple years now consistently? And for me, the best way that I would describe it is through the anecdote of driving. Typically when I'm driving, or in the past, I had the shortest temper when someone would cut me off, and it would actually affect my day. I would just sit there kind of butthurt, wondering, why did they cut me off? The world hates me. And I would just sit there in a bubble of anger, and wherever I would go to next, like a coffee shop, I would carry that emotion over. And so just because one person did something maybe wrong, or I don't know what they were going through, but it affected my life, and my life is precious, so screw that person. Why would they ruin my day? And so by focusing on meditation every day, I have a baseline, I have a foundation to which I can come back to. And so anytime someone cuts me off, which living in a popular city, it's kind of inevitable, it's going to happen. And so I'm able to kind of gather myself and be like, okay, I am angry, that wasn't really cool what they did, but how and why am I feeling this way? Like, let me come back to baseline, because it does nothing for me, it does no good by sitting here angry at this person. The other huge benefit that I have found is focus. Oh my goodness, in college it was really hard for me to focus because of just how much video games or just Instagram and all these just applications that were just being pushed out and shoved in our face. But because of meditation and because of me focusing on my breath and training my mind to kind of sit there day to day when I don't want to sit there day to day, it allows me to appreciate actually focus or a clear mind, or allows my mind to be bored and allows me to be more creative. When you're bored, you allow your mind to wander, and if you're trying to figure out a solution to something, weirdly enough, when I'm not doing anything, sometimes my mind will just think the thought or just kind of give me a idea that will push me in the right direction. And before, if I would just kind of mindlessly put my mind to something, you obviously can't think the thoughts if your thoughts are thinking something. And if you're thinking BS because you're filling your mind with Instagram and all these different things, you can't focus. You literally are preventing your mind from focusing. And so this is one of the biggest things that I would say is the stress and the focus, which if you learn to manage these two tools, it can take you extremely far in life. And the last thing that I would say that it really, really helped me with was just my self-improvement, getting to know who I am a little bit better. Why do I feel the way that I feel? Why do I act the way that I act? What am I doing? You start to ask these questions more and more because you're thinking more about yourself. You're looking more inwards when you have to breathe and sit there and breathe and repeat. And over time, you begin to develop a relationship with yourself. It's kind of weird. It's almost like two different entities. It's like one that goes unconscious throughout the day, but the more times that you bring awareness to your breath, you learn who you are. You learn to bring awareness to you, and you become conscious. And that's exactly why I love meditating so much, is because you catch yourself more often. More quickly, you can be like, oh, okay, that was an unconscious habit or behavior that I used to do that was negative. Now, let me think the thoughts I need to think in order to propel my life forward. And so I hope that this helps. If you have any questions on meditation, I'm more than happy to talk about it. I'm weirdly obsessed with this kind of stuff. So yeah, write in the comments any questions you have.